Hey guys, it's Oskar from GoPrimate here, and in this video I'm going to share with you 3 quad exercises that you can do from home. So for the first 2 exercises you're going to be needing a slant board or something to elevate your heels. Another thing you need for the first 2 exercises is going to be a kettlebell. So we can go pretty light on these actually, so I have a 10 kilo one here. And for the last one you're going to be needing a pretty strong resistance band. So ideally you can use the strongest one you have. Doesn't have to be as thick as this one right here, but you know, this is the ideal thickness. It can be a little bit thinner, but as long as you can still lean on the band with your body weight, you'll be good to go. So the first exercise is going to be a Kettlebell Goblet Cyclist Squat, and that's the one I already mentioned in a previous video regarding the slant board. So basically what it is you're going to be doing your goblet squats, kettlebell goblet squats on a slant board, and this is great for quads. And you don't need to go too heavy on these. I usually use a 16 kilo kettlebell for this, but the reason why you don't need to go heavy for this is because if you use your mind muscle connection properly, you notice that a lightweight goes a very long way. So I think that I usually focus on that helps me feel more in my quads is to focus on pressing the toes into the ground. So instead of just squatting up and down, instead when you're down in the squat position, focus on pressing your toes to the ground, and that way you're going to be feeling those quads working a lot more. Another thing is stay nice and upright the whole time. The more upright you stay, the more you're going to be feeling this in your quads. So you probably heard about the Kettlebell Goblet Cyclist Squats before. It's pretty well known, but it's a very good staple to have in your workout. I probably wouldn't put it personally initially in the workout. Probably in the middle slash at the end of the workout is, I think, the best. Exercise number 2 is going to be, it's actually called actually I don't know what the name is, I just came up with the name myself. I call it a Backloaded Kettlebell Cyclist Squat. So I got the idea initially from watching Mindy Pump TV. They use a backloaded kettlebell walking lunges. So I thought maybe we can do this into a squat form. So I started trying. I think it was pretty efficient actually. What I noticed is that you don't need to go too heavy on these. So basically you're going to be standing on the stand board again. You have the kettlebell behind your body with your arms straight, and you're going to be squatting up and down, and try to stay as upright as you can. So like I mentioned, you don't have to go too heavy on these. I think a 10 kilo kettlebell is going to be just enough for these. And once again, the mind muscle connection is very important. So if you focus on pressing the toes to the ground, you're going to be noticing that your quads are going to be working like crazy, and that's what we want. Again, we want to train our quads. Something that you might be concerned about is your knee health, because it might look a bit risky, but I would say, you know, it's pretty safe to go because your joints in general are meant to be folded, so they can definitely handle it. But if you do feel some kind of knee pain when you do this, I think the most common reason is probably because you're letting your knees cave in. Instead, you want to always be pushing them outside the whole time. So throughout the whole movement, when you come up, when you come down, always press your knees outside. And if you do that, if you keep pushing your knees out, I'm pretty sure the knee pain is going to go away. If it doesn't, I think just don't do this exercise. Just find another one instead, because there's plenty of exercises to choose from, and there's no need to get injured. You know, you can't really train if you're injured, and it kind of defeats the point. So if you have knee pain, push your knees out. I'm pretty sure that's going to take care of most common knee pains you might possibly have. But if that doesn't cut it, then I think it's best to either just go a lot lighter or just do a different exercise. But again, lightweight is really all you need to go for this exercise. Don't need to load it up too heavy. I would say don't do reps less than 6. I would recommend you do higher reps of this and very low weight. Now one thing you can do to make it also a little bit easier is to lean forward with your upper body a little bit. So by leaning forward a little bit, it's going to basically be less emphasis on the quads, and you're going to get a little bit more help from the glutes. and it's going to be a little bit easier to perform this. So that's something you might be able to do at the end of the set when you're getting tired. Just lean forward a little bit, drop your body, make sure you get those last reps in. And the last one is going to be a kettlebell Spanish squat, or a kettlebell goblet Spanish squat. Actually, you could do it without a kettlebell as well, but we just use the kettlebells just because they have them and get some more resistance into the muscles. But again, like I mentioned, you need a really strong band, and you're going to be attaching the band to something sturdy, and then the two loops on the other side of the band, you're going to be putting them behind your knees. The secret here to really feel your quads burning is actually three things, two main things, and then there's one bonus I'll share with you as well. The first one is when you're down in the squat position, instead of just focusing on squatting up and down, I want you to focus on pushing the band back with your knees. So I'll say it again, to make this feel way more efficiently in your quads. When you're about to come up, when you're down in the squat position, focus on pushing the band back with your knees. That's going to make a huge difference in how hard it's going to feel like and how much your quads are going to be working. I promise you, try that, you're going to be like, wow, it's a very big difference. And number two is going to be focus on pushing your heels to the ground. So again, when you're down in the squat position, focus on pushing those heels to the ground, and that's how you're going to be coming all the way up. And number three is if you just stay upright, you're going to be feeling this in your quads more as well. So if you lean forward, taking a little bit more pressure off your quads. Those three things. Number one, push the band back with your knees. Number two, push your heels towards the ground. And number three, stay nice and upright. And throughout the Spanish squats, you always want to be having the weight mainly on your heels. So of course on the whole foot, but the majority of the weight is going to be on your heels. And you always want to make sure you're leaning back a little bit. So there's always going to be a slight backwards lean against the band, and the weight is always going to be on your heels. And you know, this is actually, if you do those three things I just told you, the three things for the Spanish squats, maybe a kettlebell is not even necessary just yet. Even body weight is going to be just enough to feel the burn. Again, the cleaner the technique you do, and with the more mind-muscle connection used in your execution, the less weight you can get away with, which is amazing because you need to go and have all this load in your house, all these weights lying around your house. Even just 10 kilo kettlebell is enough, but you know, sometimes just body weight is going to be just enough to feel your quads burning. But basically, that is it. Those are my current three favorite quad exercises to do from home. And of course, there's many more, but I really like these three. They're very efficient. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, please leave it a like as well. And if you want more tips like this, how to get fit from home, subscribe to the channel. We have more videos coming up in the future. Other than that, that's all for this video. I really appreciate you watching, and thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.